All right, folks. This story popped up and changed all within about an hour. And this is the, what do they call it? Democrats withdraw Trayvon Martin amendment. As of about 20 minutes ago, it was still, they were looking at passing an amendment. They're calling it the Trayvon Amendment, sponsored by, who is it? It's Keith Ellison, a Minnesota Democrat. He's the one that was sworn into Congress on the Quran and not the Bible, if you all recall that. Just pointing that out. Anyway, I'd like to point out Democrat, big time. But what they were, attempting to do was to go into states that have what are called, they call them shoot first laws, is what it is. And what it is, it's called stand your ground, which means that if somebody has a knife and they come at you, okay, let's say you're an obese person and you can't run. Let's say you have, health issues that you can't run. Okay, stand your ground. If someone comes at you to inflict, bodily harm, you have the right to stand your ground and defend yourself, and that includes using lethal means. What the Democrats want to do, in particular, Mr. Ellison, he doesn't want you to have the right to defend yourself. He wants you to attempt to run away first. He wants to make sure that you don't shoot the criminal who's attacking you. He'll cite statistics that since they passed stand your ground laws, that there's been a 250% increase in, they've changed the article here a little bit, but there's been a 250% increase in the number of deaths resulting from stand your ground. Okay, well, by the way, they call that justifiable homicide. Same thing as what the police, when a cop shoots somebody and it's a good shoot, it's a justifiable homicide. They don't tell you that the police also had increases in justifiable homicides as stand your ground also had increases. So, but why do Democrats insist on wanting to curtail the rights of people to defend themselves? I bet Mr. Ellison doesn't mind that his bodyguards are armed. I bet that's fine with him. Just like that loudmouth Rosie O'Donnell who said people who own guns ought to be, locked up in prison or shot or some psycho nonsense she likes to spout. But then it's found out she's got an armed bodyguard. Oh, really? Oh, what does she say? Oh, it's to defend her children. Like her children are any more special than anybody else's children. You know what? Maybe her children are in danger because their parent is Rosie O'Donnell. Maybe she's putting them in more danger just because of who she is, and she doesn't know how to shut her pie hole. But anyway, why is it Democrats just don't want you to have the ability to defend yourself? I don't understand it. And what they want to do is states that won't back off their stand your ground, they want to deny state funds or federal funds to the state. Now think about that. Isn't that kind of a form of extortion? Saying if you don't do this, if you don't do what we want, we're going to take this away from you. I mean, on a grand scale, they're going to withhold money. That's kind of extortion. How is that any different than saying, hey, I've got this nude picture of you, and if you don't give me $10,000, I'm going to put it on the internet? What's the difference? What, because government people do it, it's not extortion? I mean, that's 100% what it is. They do it on the seatbelt laws, too. If you don't have this, we're going to withhold highway funds. This is a perfect example of why the federal government needs to have their power curtailed. They've got their fingers, their tentacles into absolutely everything. But folks, I just want you to be aware that when you truly look at the statistics, states and cities that have the strictest gun laws, by and far, have the highest crime, violent crime. States where they pass concealed carry and have more, I'm going to call it loose, I hate to use the word liberal, gun laws, their crime rates go down. I mean, it's amazing. You know, when a criminal thinks that someone has the ability to stop them, well, they're going to go elsewhere. But it's just, again, it's just interesting that the Democrats want to protect the criminal. And again, in Trayvon Martin's case, okay, look, I'm not going to say it's a sad thing. Look, nobody wants to see anybody die. But if it comes out that Trayvon Martin indeed did attack George Zimmerman acted appropriately. These people want to pass legislation and stick Trayvon's name on there. Zimmerman hasn't even been found guilty of anything yet. Why? Why are they trying to do that? They're trying to inflame, take something that's got a name to it, and they're trying to just use the passion to try to ram something through. This is the problem with Congress. They react to situations. They don't respond to things. You know, and you know what? Even if they do convict George Zimmerman, that's not an excuse to go in there and totally change the law. This is exactly what happens. If you break the law, okay, then if George Zimmerman broke the law, then the law works. People will look at that and say, oh, geez. If Zimmerman's acquitted, well, geez, what? The law didn't work against a 6'3" black athlete, beating up a 30-something-year-old half Latino, half white guy. This can cut both ways. I mean, we have laws against truancy. Did that stop Trayvon? He had burglary tools on him. They caught him with burglary tools. Well, geez, there's laws against that. Did that stop Trayvon? How about having the stolen property? Did that stop Trayvon? How about the baggie with marijuana residue or drug residue? Well, that's illegal. Did that stop Trayvon? Well, geez. Well, Mr. Ellison, Mr. Congressman, why don't you pass some laws against that? Oh, wait, that's right. We have laws. And guess what? People break them and they get punished. From what I've seen, I think, Trayvon, from what I've seen, I think the end result, Trayvon picked a fight with the wrong guy. We'll let the law decide, though. I mean, I don't have all the facts, but I've seen enough that what's been put in, out for public consumption. I mean, we've got the lead prosecutor, lying about what he put in his affidavit. Fact is, folks, this is what happens when you have people reacting to situations, not responding, and this is typical. This is what you can expect from the Obama administration in the next 4 years if he unfortunately gets reelected. You're going to have people clamping. Why do you think gun sales have gone through the roof? They've doubled since 2008, and it's probably one of the few industries that are actually adding jobs and creating revenue. So anyway, something to think about. Make yourself aware of it, because it ultimately, I mean, let's face it, do you not want the ability to defend yourself? If somebody's coming at you, with a knife or a broken bottle or another weapon of lethal means, I mean, how many hits with a baseball bat? If a guy's coming at you with a bat or a piece of pipe, and he's like, give me your money, how do you know that he's just not going to hit you with it? How do you think maybe he's only going to hit you once? How do you know he's not going to just beat you to death because he doesn't want to leave witnesses? This is what the Democrats want you to do. They think the cops can be everywhere at all times. Well, you know what? They can't be. So people should have the right to defend themselves. Shame on you, Democrats, for trying to curtail, a citizen's right to defend themselves. People, take it upon yourself. Cops can't be everywhere. Cops aren't everywhere. They can't. Fact is, I think cops respond to crimes after they've happened than they do stop crimes from happening. And that's not a slam against cops. It just is what it is. They can't be everywhere. So, do some soul searching, folks. Take a look into this. Think about it. Don't just look at the superficial thing. Look at what it actually can mean long term. All right? It's up to you to hold your legislators accountable, and it's up to you to protect yourself and your family. You should be the first line of defense. All right? I appreciate you watching.